I guess, at least for today, all roads lead to Kinderhook. I used to watch a wonderful show on Saturday night on CBS, Jackie Gleason, and he'd always say, "And away we go." How sweet it is. I think the last time we had a gathering, we were breaking ground back here, and a year later, we're here, or we are where our back lawn used to be. So we had to swap out a lawn for a beautiful new building. And it is just thrilling for me to be here today and to welcome you all to our library, which is 85 years old. This building is 85 years old. And I remember looking through the remarks that were made by the benefactor, Carolyn Davie Lloyd, who put up this building in the height of the Depression, in FDR's first year as president. Very tough economic climate. And she went out and endowed this beautiful building and even paid the librarian a salary out of her own pocket. And I think Jim Tuttle mentioned one time she used to come to board meetings with a driver that she'd come over from Lee, Massachusetts. So there's been a zeal for a wonderful library going back to the 1930s. Thanks to the generosity of 388 donors, our $2.3 million goal was reached on time and without loans or debt. I'm so proud to say that no local tax dollars were spent to construct or outfit this beautiful new building and to renovate this historic building, which is, as I said, is 85 years young. We invite you to come back often and explore all that our new space has to offer.
I feel like our library has been a walking, talking, long-range plan for many years now, always focused on the future and what could be, and it's finally a present-day reality, and I'm so thankful for that. We look forward to new social services offerings, which are close to my heart, having started out at Albany Public and some other really urban libraries where we did a lot of that. We haven't had the ability here, and I'm really excited. So things like health fairs and tax assistance and outreach service. We've also been able to drastically upgrade our internet connectivity with lightning fast fiber connection. Our meeting space in the new meeting room makes rooms for programs, allows us to host not-for-profit groups and individuals for meetings, activities, and even more programs. Our building is now fully accessible to everyone, which is the most important thing because libraries are for everyone. Our community is the heart of our library, and we're just so excited to be done planning and to start doing. Thank you to our wonderful group of experts. Teamwork makes the dream work, and you've all made my dreams come true.
Some of you bought bricks for the patio to honor your family members, to honor your book club, to honor reading itself. Several of you sponsored particular parts of the library. But I'd like to give a special thanks to just a few people without whom the construction could not have gone ahead. Senator Kathy Marchione for her major construction grant, as well as the State Library construction funding, which awarded us 3 separate awards. Many thanks go to Anna Lee and to Megan Brennan, who spent hours, days, weeks, months writing those grant applications. And we really do appreciate that. We'd like to thank Barry Herbold for the gift of the children's room in honor of his late wife, Jackie Carter. And you'll see when you get the chance to go through just how beautiful that is. We want to thank Phil and Birgitta Sherman for their generous underwriting of our technology infrastructure. We will be a 21st century library. Thanks go to the Hudson River Bank and Trust for sponsoring the lobby in the new building, which brings me to the Tuttle family. We remember with fondness Fatty Tuttle, who was our honorary chair, and who sadly died before the library could be completed, although she was, 105 at the time? 104. I'm sure Fatty and Ben would be extremely proud of everything that we've accomplished here. Their son Jim and his wife Nora, their grandson Tom and his wife Mila had our back. They supported us so generously that as Gary already told you, the board voted unanimously to name the new building the Tuttle Building. They will be long remembered for their gifts to this community.
I'll say very few words. My father's vision. He did years and years of talking about it, of asking me questions, trying to figure out how best to raise the money and bring this to the community. I supported him from the beginning, and I'm so happy that he was able to work with you all to make this happen. It's exciting for us.
This library was built by women, not by guys. In the 1920s, some women got together and said, gee, we ought to have a library in the village of Kinderhook. And they pooled their resources and their books, and it moved around for a while. And finally, Carolyn Davies Lloyd said, you got something going here. I'll build you a building, which she did. And she endowed the building as well to support a librarian for a significant period of time. Remember, this library ran on contributions up until what, 10 years ago? Yeah, it was all contributions to pay staff and so forth. The library has, I believe, exclusively had female librarians. The only person trying to break the mold is Matt. He's a librarian. He is a librarian. And he's doing some fascinating things with I don't know what you call them, preteens, teens, trying to get them started in building robots, computer programming, as well as just giving them, and this is a whole new thing for this library. It's never had. When you go through that door, the first room on your right is the quote teen room, which I think starts about 10, so it's it's the only place in Kinderhook where teens can safely hang out and do whatever they want to do under the slightly watchful eye of the librarians, who are only a window away, as you see when you go into that room. So that's a whole new thing that Matt really was working on for years and has brought into fruition. So I thank the women. The two probably most energetic women here were Mimi and now Dot. And they're both from Stuyvesant. I don't know what's in the water in Stuyvesant, but you crank out some really high energy women over there. I'm surprised Annalita. She's an import. So I really congratulate the women who have supported the creation and the building and the staffing of this library over the last, in a way, probably 90 years, truthfully, not just the library building, but the concept of the library.
The establishment of the Friends really came with the motivation of the expansion of this building. That was in 2005. You can imagine how thrilled we are today.
Since I was a little kid, I often appreciated the library, but it's just gone to a new level with this expansion.
People who are generous and involved and care and recognize the need for a library in the community have come together, and I think it's what makes this nation great.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Stuyvesant Town Board hereby declares December 14th as Kinderhook Memorial Library Day and congratulates them on their newly constructed community site.
We're going to need another display case. You can see that right up. Make sure we get on there.
Thank you for having me here this morning and to be a part of this wonderful celebration here today in Kinderhook. And you know, it's undeniable today that we live in a culture where learning in isolation is not only convenient, but it's a trend. You know, it's a trend that I see as an instructor at a local college. And I think, you know, thinking back to when I was in high school, when Mr. Applegate was my high school English teacher, he probably wished that I was learning more in isolation and putting forth more of an effort. But, you know, the vigilance that is present here and the sense of community that's here and really going against the grain and bringing learning together as a community, it's palpable here. And it's truly wonderful. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. And you know, I want to thank you all for letting me be a part of it.
But you know, the best part of my job are days like this when I get to witness what communities can do when they pull together. The Kinderhook Memorial Library Board of Trustees moves that every December 14th be designated Gary Spielman Day. To recognize Mr. Gary Spielman and his untiring efforts to enhance library services for the communities it serves by his directing the capital campaign to expand the building and by raising the profile of the Kinderhook Memorial Library to its patrons and stakeholders from the Kinderhook Library Board of Trustees, December 14th, 2018. Please join me in honoring and celebrating our very first annual Gary Spielman Day.
Wasn't there a line in the movie once that said, "We're gonna need a bigger boat"? I think we're gonna need a bigger wall. But thank you. Thank you so much. As I said, this is just a special occasion. And Annalee and I were talking yesterday, and what are we gonna do next week?
Hang up plaques, apparently.
Yes. But anyway, so we're about to conclude, but I want to ask the Tuttle family to go to that.
Yep,
Go on.
Vincent.
And we're going to have the Tuttle family cut the ribbon.
Thank you. You're welcome.